it is your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today. And we're zooming in and focusing in on a great viewer question. And that was submitted by a viewer who is asking about her covert narcissist family member. And I'm not sure if this was a father or a brother or a fiance or someone who she's married to, but she's just talking about how passive it is and how she feels like he's really hiding something from her, and how does this contribute to the personality disorder? Why do they do that? So I want to zoom in and focus in on sort of what I would call the lies of omission, or the pathology of the covert narcissist. And I want to just give a huge shout out, much love to the Empowered Harmonizers. For those of you who have also written to me and inquired about why they're not receiving my videos in their news feed, once again, you do need to, that's not something that I have any control of, but I believe that you have to click on the ads once in a while if you're interested, or, you have to click on the ads, give a thumbs up, something that shows some interaction, because YouTube tends to purge subscriptions, or stop the news feed if they're not engaging in. So if you're not engaging in the ads or clicking on the ads or giving a thumbs up, that can occur. So just keep aware of that. And I want to really zoom in and focus in on today's topic, and that is the quiet pathology, or the lies of omission, with a covert narcissist. When we talk about pathology, we're talking about something that is disordered, that is diseased, that is dysfunctional, that is not for the good of all. And especially if you've been in a relationship with a covert narcissist, you'll find that then this is less than in your best interest, how they behave or treat you with regards to being in the truth, being in a truth vibration, allowing you to feel at ease and be able to express yourself and communicate and have a give, an interaction, a law of reciprocity, a give and take freely, or whether they're stifled, there's some sort of block, it's lacking a flow in the relationship. And that is the main presenting issue oftentimes, is that someone is not getting what they need. Someone is not getting what they want. Someone is not getting what they deserve. Why are they so passive, or how hard to, get into conversation, or stand up for things, or be verbal, or, back things up when they need to be backed up? Why is there this passivity? And oftentimes it is because the covert narcissist is engaging in pathological lying, which is the lying of omission. Omission means withholding something or leaving something out. And when people are testifying in a court of law, if they don't give a specific detail, if they don't give some evidence, if they don't give their knowledge, they're not sharing freely, then they're just lying by omission. So it's not they're telling an overt lie. They are lying by omission. They're leaving something out. They're leaving information out. They're they're withholding something from you and keeping it from you. So it is a very sort of covert, stealthy, but insidious and chronic way to emotionally manipulate others. And whether they take pleasure in it or not, that's where we really get into the psychopathic realm, where these people actually have a very deliberate and calculated way with which they're trying to manipulate people. I mean, they're in it for their own interest and to the disadvantage of others. So it is a win-lose proposition. And it oftentimes is a win-lose proposition with a covert narcissist, because it is what they are withholding, lying by omission, not sharing, not confiding in you, the very little bit of information. It's giving you a very crafted way that they want you to perceive things, rather than allowing you to make your own assessment and being able to discourse things. So it oftentimes is a very difficult thing to break down, and it's a difficult thing to change. You cannot change this aspect of them. If they are open to change, if they're open to changing their routine and open to different things and being accountable and stepping up to the plate and doing what is required, then you have a functioning system, situation on your hands. You've got a functional relationship. But if you're in, working with a boss who's like this, a family member who is lying by omission, you very quickly will begin to feel extricated or isolated from the pack, from the group, from the relationship. And the body basically, feels this or equates this with extinction, with I'm not having love, or I'm not able to feel at ease in this relationship or in life or in my job, wherever it is. So that's where this big fear comes into play, where, you're feeling, the self-sabotaging, the death wishes, the anorexia, the drug doing. I mean, how would you take the matters of life and death into your own hands? People, go through 8 years of study to be a pharmacologist. As a pharmacist, why would you just take all these random chemicals and put them in you? It's just, this is oftentimes it's because you're in negative orderly direction thinking, what I call NOD thinking, which is part of you're then transmuting. There's something that occurs within human biology, which is called entrainment. In other words, when you're with a person long enough, your heart is going to beat the same rhythm. You're going to breathe the same way. You're going to share brain waves. It is called the, entrainment. And really, a lot of people believe that you can have this with animals, with plants, all sorts of different things, entrainment. So if you're experiencing entrainment with someone who's living a lie or that ickiness, you can pick up on it, can't you? I mean, can I get an amen when you're like, something doesn't feel right, but I got to kind of trust my gut on this one. And even though you don't have physical evidence that you can see, you can sense it. That's your vagus nerve, the seat of your intuition, which is like, hello, something is off with this person. And then whether you run and get away and just don't engage with it, or whether you then bring the negativity into you and then are charmed by it for some reason because this person has an authoritarian or a place in your life where you're then looking up to them. Maybe they're even taller. I mean, who knows how they commanded your attention, but you have to decommand yourself to resonate with them in that same manner. You need to distance yourself and pull back and not feel guilty, for that. That is the reason why, you have to see it for what it is. You have to become like an ultra, super sleuth and know that gut feeling, which you can't really put an actual, physical thing to. You can't see that they hit you in this way, or that they, yelled at you or something. It's more a very insidious, what's the word that I'm looking for? Where you can't really touch something. It's a very intangible thing, but you can sense it, it is, there's a holding back, and that's because this person has been engaging in the lies of omission, what they're not giving, how they're not guiding, what they're refusing to do, taking that relationship. To them, it's very clear what you need, but to them, it's very clear that they're withholding it. That's how they get their power. It's a very insidious way of hurting. Is they're withholding as a way of starving you for attention, so that you'll think that they're the one in control. They're the one who has, the grips on the engine. They're the one who has their grips on the steering wheel. See, look, I've starved you for attention. I've starved you for eye contact. I've starved you for affection. Do you see who's in control? So you're always looking up at them for something that you quote unquote need. So it keeps a very insidious trauma bond there that can go on for decades. Why they do this? It is part of a pathology. It's part of how they think that they get respect, admiration, and control is by showing who's the boss. It's like, sorry, Charlie, but, I am the boss of me. And you need to claim that title. You need to go and get yourself, a sticker. It doesn't mean boss because that means bossy, but, empowered is more how I like to feel of it, is that you're empowered, i.e., the power you have is within the internal motivation, regardless of what's going over there with that stuff. You attune to the holy, you attune to the higher, you know what it is, own it, even if this person will have nothing to do with it. Of course, because you would be calling them out on their pathology of omission. And they're not going to give that up for the world, because to them, that's like their inner kindling. That's their tinder. That's what they burn from. That's what they operate on. That's the fuel of that personality. So you have to separate yourself, even though you might not want to. You have to distance yourself and then take ownership over yourself and give yourself the truth, being able to see the truth for what it is, no matter what courage, boldness, fearlessness it takes. Be fearless, be bold, have the courage, and begin to then challenge yourself to see the truth, and then challenge yourself to move forward each and every day despite what has occurred. And it's like literally, rub dirt on it, or however you want to think of it, but pick yourself up from that experience and give yourself the inner strength and security that comes from knowing what is and paying attention and honoring that inner voice and being okay with it. Yes, you are okay. The road will rise to meet you. It is your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today, and I hope that these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.